We've all been there, right? You're on a project, you're following all the rules, checking all the boxes, and it still goes completely off the rails. Well, today, we're going to look beyond the standard playbook to figure out why projects really fail, and more importantly, how to get our focus right from the start. I mean, it's the big question, isn't it? You've got the charts, you're running the meetings, you've got all the sign-offs, but you still end up late, over budget, or delivering something that just misses the mark. It turns out the problem usually isn't the process we're following, it's what we're focusing on inside that process. And look, these insights aren't just theory from a book. They come from 3 solid decades of in-the-trenches experience from author Arunava Chakravarty. We're talking about real-world enterprise technology delivery, specializing in things like AI-assisted decision systems and performance analytics. This is hard-won wisdom, so let's dive in. Okay, let's start right where every project does, at the beginning, with initiation and planning. This is where we need to make the first 2 huge mental shifts, moving away from just going through the motions to actually driving for results. So, here's the first trap. We think the whole point of project initiation is just to get approval. Get that PO signed and the budget unlocked. But in the real world, the goal that actually saves you from failure later on is gaining absolute, undeniable clarity. So how do you actually get that clarity? Well, you've got to focus on the right stuff. It means making sure the project is truly aligned with strategy. It means nailing the budget and milestones in a project charter. And it means defining the hard rules of governance. The penalty clauses and stuff up front. And this is a big one, mapping stakeholders not just by their title, but by their actual power to influence the project. And let's be totally blunt about this. Clarity isn't just some nice to have. It's everything. It is the absolute foundation of the entire project. Without it, you're basically just building on sand. Now let's move into planning. The textbook says our job is to create the perfect plan, right down to the last detail. But come on, we all know that no plan ever survives first contact with reality. The real goal is to build a decision-ready plan, one that gives you the power to make smart choices when things inevitably change. And this matrix really shows you what that means. A decision-ready plan isn't a rigid script. It's a tool that gives you visibility into the 3 main levers you can always pull: speed, cost, and quality. The plan's whole job is to help you and your stakeholders make intelligent trade-offs between them. So to build a plan like this, you need to focus on solid technical designs, get your core documents in order, and this part is so crucial. Do a real gap analysis. Compare what the client asked for, what you proposed, and what they actually purchased. Finding those gaps before you kick off is an absolute game changer. And this really gets to the heart of it. Your plan isn't a crystal ball. Its real value is being a trusted guide that you actually use to make smart decisions when you get to a fork in the road. All right, so with that clear and decision-ready foundation in place, we're diving into the heart of the project: execution and monitoring. And here, we need another 2 big shifts in focus to keep the whole thing moving forward. During execution, it's so easy to fall into the trap of just measuring activity. How many tasks did we complete? How many hours did we log? We think being busy means we're making progress, but the real goal is to enable flow, to create a state where the team can just move forward smoothly, without any friction. This quote just nails it. The project manager's true job in this phase isn't to be a taskmaster. It's to be a friction remover. Your whole focus should be clearing the path, getting rid of blockers, and making sure decisions get made fast so your team can keep up their momentum. And what about monitoring? So many status reports are just history lessons, telling everyone what already happened last week. That is such a massive missed opportunity. The shift here is from just reporting on the past to actively hunting for signals that can help you predict the future. This chart shows the difference perfectly. Lagging indicators, they tell you you've already gone over budget. It's useful info, but it's too late to do much. Leading indicators, though, they're the early warnings. They're the subtle trends in the data that give you a chance to course correct before you hit the iceberg. And here is the ultimate test for any report you ever create or read. If the information you're presenting doesn't help someone make a better or a different decision, then it's just noise. It's activity without any real purpose. So, finally, we get to what is probably the most undervalued phase of any project: closure. This isn't just about cleaning up files and sending a final invoice. Nope, it's a strategic goldmine. See, the textbook view is that closure is just a simple handover. You give them the keys, you're done. But in reality, this is your single greatest learning opportunity as a team and as an organization. It's where you get to distill all that hard-won wisdom from the project you just finished. Now, to do this right, your focus has to be on systematically capturing that knowledge, documenting what really worked and what didn't, and identifying those bigger systemic issues that you can fix for the next project. When you do that, you turn one project's experience into a valuable asset for the entire company. And this is exactly why it matters so much. The lessons that you learn, or maybe more importantly, fail to learn during closure, have a direct impact on your ability to win and deliver the next project successfully. It's a huge long-term investment. Okay, so let's bring this all home. If you really want to move beyond that textbook mentality and get a real advantage in delivering projects, it all comes down to making these key shifts in where you put your focus. And here they are, the 5 big shifts. In initiation, you go from chasing approval to demanding clarity. In planning, you move from seeking perfection to enabling trade-offs. In execution, you stop measuring activity and start creating flow. In monitoring, you quit reporting the past and start finding future signals. And in closure, you forget the simple handover and you focus on learning. And what this all does is it totally reframes the idea of project governance, that word everyone's afraid of. It's not about a rigid system of control and punishment. It's about creating a framework that gives you the clarity and the visibility you need to make better decisions every single step of the way. And that really leaves us with one final and I think crucial question you should ask yourself. When you look at your own work, are you just managing phases and checking boxes? Or are you actively managing the handful of key decisions that will truly make or break your project? Because that answer, that makes all the difference.